Sure. Yeah. Obviously, I'm super proud of the performance and the outcome from last night's match. This season has been really very magical for us, and it's not like we're counting wins. We are more in the moment, and it's been really great to take each step of this process and this journey this season for its singular match and singular opponent, and it's gotten us pretty far, which is pretty outstanding.
Just for the play, for the whole team, I mean, how much pride do you guys take in putting kind of San Diego as a school kind of on the map a bit? Because like men's basketball is in number whatever, you know what I mean? So how much pride do you guys take in kind of representing San Diego at a national level and bringing national attention to the school?
Yeah, I mean, it's just such an amazing feeling, and USD was my dream school, so for me, this is just like has made my life. This is just, I'm so grateful to be in this position, and we just have such a great coaching staff that prepares us, and I just think it's a reflection of all our hard work. A team full of 18 people who just love each other and really want to come in the gym every day ready to work hard and are really motivated. So, I mean, this means everything. I mean, it feels surreal, and I can't even describe. I feel like there's not even enough words that can describe just how much this means to just put our school on this type of, just radar to the rest of the world or nation.
Yeah. As a San Diego native, I also can't even put into words how much pride that, we take in this and how exciting this is just to represent, not only our school, but also the city and the volleyball community and stuff. I think it's just super exciting, and it's just, I don't know, it means a lot to us to create this sort of legacy and continue what Jen has worked on for 24 years now, and it's just so exciting. Such an exciting time.
For Jen, just talk about Stanford and just kind of game planning for them. Obviously not specifics, but just in general, what are you seeing from them, and what are the keys to being successful against them tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think it's going to be such an epic battle and a lot of fun because there's, large arms on the pins on both sides of the net. And certainly we have to continue to win that serve and pass battle. They're a tough serving team. And we need to make sure that we hit our zones that we're looking at to try to get them as off the net as we can. But who's got the bigger arm and who's willing to stay brave out of system and take the bigger risk? And I think you'll see a lot of that tomorrow night because I think both squads have some kids that are very physical and are going to go after it.
Yeah, Leyla, I just wanted to, just being on the block, obviously they have a lot of threats, and I'm sure you guys do as well. But how do you do that, especially if you're one-on-one, or, that's, it's probably not easy to know where their offense is going to go, what direction it's going to go.
Yeah, I think we have worked very hard this entire season on just building our foundation as a blocking unit. One thing that we really focus on is just patience and reading the game well as best as that we can, and I think we're lucky that we have a setter as talented as Gabby in our gym to practice with every day, and that's really prepping us for this for sure.
I know you guys are a big hitting team. Defense, how much pride do you guys take on your defense?
Go ahead, Libero.
Yeah, a lot. We've worked so hard the past, not even just 4 months since season started, but I think even just years, and our coaches do such a great job of training very specific things in our defense, and it just opened so many doors to me that just certain things about defense I didn't even know that were a thing. Even just mentally, kind of defense has a lot of mentality, and they've just opened so many doors, I think, mentally and physically, just breaking down very specific moves, one arm or knee drive, just so many specific things that I think really just pay dividends in games. Obviously, I thought we had a really great defensive game last night, and I think I'm really excited for tomorrow as well.
Libero is a very unique position. Just how much pride do you take in your role and having a kind of a unique kind of position on a team like that?
Yeah, a lot, kind of same thing. It means a lot to me, and I try my best to kind of just be someone who's, I try to help my teammates as much as possible. I think that's kind of really the role of the libero defensively, just making sure what can I do to help my teammates. I think that's something that I really learned the past few years and really kind of pride myself on, just finding ways for my hitters how to score, just looking at the court, seeing what's open for them, just because, obviously they're kind of at the net, maybe they're not really sure of, what's open right now. So really just, being as much help to my teammates as I can on all aspects.
For the players, just both of you, just what do you guys do to mentally prepare for being in a road hostile environment tomorrow night? Just how do you kind of mentally prepare for a match where you know that I'm sure there'll be a lot of San Diego supporters there as well. But still, you're gonna be on the road. Just how do you kind of mentally prepare to steal a win in the Elite Eight match on the road?
Yeah, luckily our schedule has really prepared us for this moment. We've played in some really tough environments. Louisville was a crazy electric environment just preseason. Texas A&M, we've had just so many opportunities to BYU. Obviously, they pack that gym, so I think we're very well prepared for this moment. And I almost feel like sometimes we play better on the road. That's just my opinion, but we're more than ready, and a lot of mental work goes into that our coaches prepare us for. So I'm really excited, and I think mentally we'll be ready to go.
Yeah, I have to echo everything Annie just said. I think she hit the nail on it, but I think it's also a comfort to have a group as close as we are and to just head into every match with each other, and I think that really grounds us and keeps us very steady, and we don't really get swayed by the noise outside of ourselves, and we just stick together and lean on each other.
I'm just curious about, just you guys have had some transfers. Leyla, you're a transfer.
I'm a yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious, just about how you're able to kind of coalesce different groups, and also maybe Jen too, if you don't mind commenting on just in this era of the transfer portal, what's the best way to build a program? I mean, I guess you have to kind of go away from strictly the freshman and development. I mean, that's part of it, but I don't know. I just wondered. That's two different questions. But
You want to start, Leyla?
Yeah.
I mean, speaking as a transfer myself, I have to say that my onboarding process onto the team was just very seamless, and everyone welcomed me with open arms. And I mean, it was easier because I'm from San Diego and I was familiar with the program and all of that. But I think the biggest part is just how welcoming our coaches are and how they have built a culture of just openness within the team and connectivity. So I don't know, I think it was just the easiest process ever, and I felt like I was supposed to be there from the second that I stepped on campus, which says a lot about what Jen has done and how our team operates.
Yeah, I think, this year more than ever, because we do have so many one-year players combined with kids that we've had around now for 5 years. You would think that there could be some controversy or some people at odds, but I think that we worked really hard on just making sure that our culture was really strong. We'd often talk about trust and unity and togetherness, and like they said, as soon as everybody recognizes their role on the team and the impact that they can have on their program, they can find their voice and they accept each other, you can find that they're pretty tight. And it doesn't matter. We always say we wouldn't be where we are today if we didn't have 18 strong individuals in our practice pushing each other every day. And so whether you're a transfer, you've been there for 5 years, you get on the court or you don't, everybody's role is very important to the success of this program.
I was just curious, what's been the key as a coach to building a school like San Diego that's in WCC, mid-major conference, and to be a national force like you guys have been? What's been the key to building a national title contender at a school like San Diego?
Yeah, I think that scheduling plays a large part in that. Our preseason schedule traditionally is very packed, and we try to play as many top 25, top 10 programs as we can from the get-go so that we know what we need to work on, where we're at. We can always raise the bar. We get into our conference, we're prepared for winning a conference championship, and then we've been there as evidence to this preseason where they're coming into the postseason knowing we've played some of the best teams in the country. So there's nobody that they're nervous to play, that they don't believe they can play, and that mantra of why not us really shines through with that kind of competitive schedule.
I don't want to leave you out, but just as far as the San Diego connection, I feel like San Diego is kind of an underrated volleyball place. There's a great history of the sport there, but for whatever reason, maybe it doesn't always translate to powerhouses at the state level, high school wise or college wise. I'm just wondering if you feel like there's, maybe I'm totally off base, I don't know, but I feel like you guys are kind of making, obviously changing that perception a little bit, maybe.
Ask Sammy Francis about that. I think there's been a lot of excellent volleyball players that have come out of the high school programs and the club programs in San Diego that have made some big impacts on programs. Lexi Sun comes to mind. Some really national, hit the national scale of competitors. So I do think that there's a lot of really strong volleyball. The Wave Club, the Coast Club, there's a lot of clubs in. Am I allowed to talk about clubs? I'm not endorsing any clubs. I'll just tell you that right now. But the club community is very strong and a lot of really knowledgeable coaches. And there's a lot of ex-Olympians that live in San Diego. Since they used to train there, there's a lot of really good coaching that's going on in San Diego and a lot of good development.
I'm sure obviously you're the product of.
Yeah, I have to say I think that the volleyball community in San Diego is very strong, and I don't know, there's a lot of passion and a lot of knowledge behind what goes on at the clubs and at the high school level. And I think one of our high schools in the community went to the finals of the country or whatever, and played at a really high level. So there's definitely a lot of support and a lot of people in the community. And I think to have a school like ours sort of anchoring that and giving people a place to go watch high level volleyball is even building more support and more conversation around volleyball. And as a old club player, it's been the best thing to have people come forward who are younger girls and who are super excited to come watch. And I think that's just the coolest part about being in that sort of community. So yeah.
I was going to ask Annie a question too. Just since you've been here longest probably anybody on the team or close to it, what sold you, especially coming out of state, on the program, and did you envision getting to this point, that
Yeah.
making those?
Yeah, I remember, I think it was my junior year of high school or something. I remember they were ranked super high that year. I think you guys were at 2 or something like that. I don't know, but I remember being San Diego and they're good at volleyball? Let me look into this. And so I emailed the assistant coach at the time, and she invited me out on a visit. I was sold immediately, and I think a big part of that was just the culture of the program that Jen has built. I remember she just was talking about just how family-oriented they were, and that's super important to me, especially being out of state. I wanted to be somewhere that had that family kind of culture, so that I was immediately sold, and they offered me a few months later, the quickest yes ever. And then ever since then, it's just been amazing, and I've met the best people out here, just the most amazing coaching staff, girls. I couldn't be more grateful, and this is way better than I envisioned my college volleyball career to go, and just going to the Elite Eight on my last, go-around I can't even to put it into words, and just super grateful to be here. And I think it's a reflection of great coaching and just hard work that we put in for the past several years. So I'm really excited.
You guys mentioned Sammy Francis, but she was out for a while and then had a surprise return previous match. Just from your perspective, how does that change for you guys game planning wise, and just what do you feel she brings to their team, and what kind of added challenge is having her back in the lineup for Stanford bring for you guys?
Yeah, clearly she's a very imposing and big space taker, big block. She's dynamic in front with the setter. She can go off one foot. She played club volleyball with my daughter, so I've seen her play for many, many years. So although she's been out for a little while, I know what she's fully capable of, and she's a big addition for them. So, yeah, I'm excited that she's back.
And then his thoughts on Kendall Kipp, what you guys see from her as well, and just obviously just the challenges that facing her brings, and she's been on quite a tear lately.
Yeah, she's playing phenomenal. She's excellent, and the fact that we have said that our defenders can line up in certain spaces, but she will hit where you're not. So we have to be able to be out of our range, make sure we are setting our defense and playing a little more perimeter, and hope that we can do a good job of containing, getting out of those rotations when she's front row. Serve tough. But she's going to get hers. She's so high, she can hit over people. She finds open spaces on the court. She's a great player and is going to provide a really great challenge for our blockers and our defenders. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.